Hello my dear friends and welcome to StudyIQ. I am Joycey Joy and today in this lecture we will discuss about the NGT or the National Green Tribunal's order on noise pollution. Now coming to the current affair, the National Green Tribunal or the NGT has directed to the Central Pollution Control Board or the CPCB in order to prepare a noise pollution map and the remedial action. So in this context we will discuss what are the directions given to CPCB by NGT and what is the role and function of NGT in this regard, and also we will see what are the existing provisions in order to control noise pollution in the country and also the impacts of noise pollution. So before we move on to the main content of the lecture, let me briefly explain to you what is NGT and what is CPCB. First, NGT. NGT is National Green Tribunal and it is a statutory body. Statutory body means a body that is established by a law of the Parliament. So it is a statutory body which is established by a government notification using the powers of Section 3 of NGT Act of 2010, and NGT has replaced the Environment Appellate Authority. So before NGT it was the Environment Appellate Authority, and now from 2010 onwards is the National Green Tribunal. Now the objective of National Green Tribunal is to effectively dispose the cases relating to environmental protection and conservation of forest and other natural resources. So quick disposal of cases relating to environmental protection and conservation of nature is the primary purpose of National Green Tribunal. And coming to the composition of National Green Tribunal, it consists of a chairperson plus minimum 10 and maximum 20 members from judicial representation or judicial members, and minimum 10 and maximum 20 full-time expert members. So this is the composition of NGT or the National Green Tribunal, and the chairperson should be either a former Supreme Court judge or a Chief Justice of any of the High Courts of India. So this is the eligibility condition for the chairperson of the National Green Tribunal. Now coming to CPCB. CPCB is Central Pollution Control Board, and this was constituted in 1974 under the Water Prevention and Control of Pollution Act of 1974. So this is CPCB. So this is briefly about CPCB and NGT. Now we will move on to the main content of the lecture. We will discuss what is the current affair, what is the directions given by NGT on noise pollution to Central Pollution Control Board. But before we begin, this is our channel StudyIQ, and we are providing pen drive courses for various competitive examinations including SSC bank courses, UPSC optionals, SSC JE courses, teaching examinations, railway examinations, defense examinations, RBI grade B, NABARD grade A, UGC NET, UPSC Civil Services Examination, CLAT examinations for various state PSCs and also for various professional courses. You can visit our website www.studyiq.com for more details, or you can call to any of these numbers for more information. Now moving on with the lecture, let us first understand what are the provisions that are already in place in order to control noise pollution. So we will see that there are various legal provisions in order to prosecute the noise makers, but the proper implementation or monitoring of this existing provisions is the biggest challenge. So we will see what are the provisions that are already in place. Now coming to Air Prevention and Control of Pollution Act of 1981. The section 2 of this act includes noise in the definition of pollutants. So this act includes noise also in its definition for pollutants. Also the noise pollution control rules were framed in 2000 under the amended and updated Environmental Protection Act of 1996. So under the Environmental Protection Act of 1996, noise pollution control rules were framed in 2000, and the noise control rules specifies the ambient standards for different places in respect of permissible noise. So it sets a standard or a cap on what can be the permissible noise in different places. But the biggest challenge here is that even though there are provisions that tries to control noise pollution in the country, they have lied in the papers only. They have not become practical, or monitoring and implementation of these provisions have not become successful in the country. And now coming to noise monitoring mechanisms. Noise monitoring mechanisms were established in many cities, but they are not put to use. So proper monitoring and implementation is the biggest challenge in controlling the noise pollution, even though there are legal provisions in order to control noise pollution in the country. Now, let us understand what are the National Green Tribunal's directions to CPCB. So, in the current affair, we have seen that the National Green Tribunal has asked the CPCB, Central Pollution Control Board, in order to create a roadmap in order to control the noise pollution in the country. So, first of all, NGT has asked the CPCB to categorize the cities on the basis of their noise profile, and after categorizing the cities based on their noise profile, the CPCB has to identify noisy hotspots. So, identification of hotspots based on the classification is the first direction given by National Green Tribunal to CPCB. Secondly, CPCB has also been asked to propose remedial plans for the noise pollution within 3 months. So, a time period of 3 months has been given by the National Green Tribunal to CPCB in order to propose remedial plans to control noise pollution in the noisy hotspots and those cities which have maximum noise pollution. Now, these are the directions given to CPCB, or the Central Pollution Control Board. Now, another important stakeholder in controlling noise pollution is the police department, who maintains the law and order in a society. So, NGT, or the National Green Tribunal, has called upon the police departments in all states in order to procure sound monitoring devices. So, they are asked to procure sound monitoring devices, and the police departments in various states are also asked to direct or assist the pollution control authorities in their efforts to mitigate noise pollution. So, a cooperation and coordination between police department and the pollution control authorities. For example, we have the CPCB, Central Pollution Control Board, at the central level, but in the state level we also have state pollution control boards, and the lower levels of the control boards would be at the district level or local level. So the police department at the district level or the local level has been directed by the National Green Tribunal to give assistance to this pollution control boards in mitigating noise pollution. And now the third important stakeholder in controlling noise pollution is the manufacturers of public address systems. So the National Green Tribunal has also issued certain directions to the manufacturers of public address systems. So according to the directions, they should provide an inbuilt noise meter and a data logger in their product. So this will help the regulators to establish violation and fix responsibility. Now let us understand what are the risks associated with noise pollution. So prolonged exposure to any sound that is louder than 80 decibels, even if it is music, it can impair hearing, breathing and thinking process. And it will also affect the human health and productivity. And if the noise goes beyond 120 decibels, it can cause biochemical changes in the biochemical cycles in human bodies. It can raise the level of cholesterol, the BP or the blood pressure, and it also has various associated health risks like cardiovascular risk. And according to WHO, World Health Organization, hearing loss due to excessive noise cost around $750 million to the global economy every year. So it causes economic loss, human resource loss and also health loss. So by understanding the risk, it is clear that noise pollution also contributes negatively and immensely towards human health and development. Now coming to the sources of noise pollution. Like any other environmental pollution, noise pollution is also an outcome of human activities. It is largely because of the human activities that there are increased levels of noise pollution. For example, human activities like industrialization, urbanization, adoption of modern lifestyle, everything contributes towards noise pollution. So industrialization, urbanization, or modernization, these are all impacts of development. And main agents of noise pollution can be factories, airports, railway stations, roads, etc. So, with infrastructural development, there is higher risk of noise pollution. Other causes are like the use of loudspeakers at full volume at religious places, social gatherings or political gatherings, etc. worsens the situation of noise pollution along with all other factors. Now let us understand what is the way ahead or what has to be done. So in case of noise pollution, we will see that unlike air pollution or water pollution, noise pollution has not got the attention of the policymakers and the responsible stakeholders. So it largely remains as an unaddressed issue. So what is required is a situation specific approach. We have seen various sources of noise pollution. So in each situation or in each circumstance, a different strategy and an approach is required. So a situation specific approach is required. So these strategies and approaches should include measures ranging from awareness creation to punitive action. And in this regard, sensitization of religious bodies is very important because they should be made aware of the ill effects of loud sound to get them to change the noise generating customs in religious practices. Now in this regard, a very important case study is that of the city of Trivandrum in the state of Kerala. So in Trivandrum city, prior permission is mandatory for setting up of public sound systems, and even the prior permission bans the placement of loudspeakers beyond 300 meters from the venues of religious, social or political events. And most importantly, as we discussed in the beginning itself, unlike air pollution and water pollution, noise pollution does not get much attention from the policymakers and the lawmakers. So the pollution control bodies need to treat noise pollution on par with other kinds of pollution. So bringing a policy attention to this matter will improve the situation to a larger extent. You can find the PDF of this lecture on my Facebook page, and for any queries you can write to me on joycey.studyiq@gmail.com. Thank you.